Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Mystic Syndicate and the Ambassadors to the Barbarian Kings Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition Homebrew Campaign. I am your Dungeon Master, Brian, and joining me, as always, are our intrepid band of adventurers.
Hi, I'm Cleric Captain Philip Mullins. I'm playing a cleric, Mousefolk.
I'm Athena Gray, fighter shifter.
I am Ricky, playing Armos, the Tiefling Sorcerer Bard.
Tiefling Bard Sorcerer. Yes, exactly. All right. So, yes. Welcome, guys. Thank you all for once again joining me here. And would anyone like to give the recap of last week's interesting action?
I did.
Oh, go ahead, Ricky. Good.
We didn't do much, and then there was a fight with shadows, and then we saved Zathia. Yeah, it was a long fight, and there was a lot of shadows. I caught things on fire.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
All hell broke loose.
All hell broke. Yeah, it did look pretty bad there for a little bit. I know that Apton, you had taken a pretty vicious hit in the very beginning.
Spent most of the time on the floor.
Yeah.
Well, my back was hurting from carrying you guys for so often.
Oh, very nice. That was good. That was good. Sure. All right. So I'm just sitting over here making sure that people know that we are definitely live right now. And hopefully everything will be nice and sweet. Hopefully. Keeping my fingers crossed for us.
You're here, we're here, we're all here.
Together. Yes. All right. Well, before we get started, I'd like to once again give a big thank you to Anna B. Meyer for the use of her beautiful maps that she creates. She is a fantasy cartographer, and you can find her over at annabmeyer.com. Make sure to also take a look at her Patreon. You can get some interesting insights to new projects that she's working on early before they hit the before they hit her regular website. You can also find her on Twitch. She sometimes appears on different streams. I don't know if she actually streams herself, but I have seen her around. But I know she puts her schedule, I think, in her website. So please make sure to check her out and see what she's all about. I'd like to also give a shout out to folks in our chat and to folks in some of the other Discord channels that we have been fortunate to become members of, and hopefully be able to enlighten and introduce more people to role-playing games. So I think this is where... You guys have anything you wanted to add?
Episode 17!
Episode 17. Very good. Yes, and we did level up last time, so that is a big deal. It went from level 4 to level 5, and that is a big deal, really, especially with what they're going to be doing and what they're going to be facing. So there you have it.
Better not.
What was it?
You better not. The encounters are like deadly plus.
Yes.
I'm going to invent a whole new category of encounters.
Yeah. So now that you all are 5th level, I have to crank it up. I have to bring the pain, so to speak.
All right.
So,
okay.
All right.
There's still only 3 of us.
Yes, there are only 3 of you, and and I don't know what we're going to do when you finally ship out. So.
Yeah, it's soon.
I know. We're going to miss you. So we'll have to do something spectacular on your last evening with us.
No.
Maybe have you eaten by a dragon or something. I don't know. Something fun.
Take
Yeah.
my strong hand.
Yeah, cleric Apton finally snaps and goes evil and
I'm
kills him.
sick of your bullshit.
or somehow finds a way to fit in his code of ethics so he doesn't have to alignment check.
He killed his mentor. He must be killed.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's not how any of this works. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
5d10 points in necrotic damage.
So
Plus 8 hit.
are you just going to have like an entourage of revenants following you around, Apton?
Hey, I don't have to worry about anybody killing me if somebody's already after me.
Hey, yeah. That's
Freaky.
true.
That's just getting double XP right there. I'll kill you once and I'll do it again.
Just keep a bunch of corpses in a jail cell with him so he bounces from one to the next. And just keep stabbing him with a spear. Level up.
That is
Level up.
That is perfect. Oh my
Army
gosh.
of the undead, but it's just one person all the time.
Alrighty. So, yes, where we last left off, you all had finally got a chance to go to bed after the fight with the shadow creatures who were actually draining Zathia of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the servants were directed by Alistar and Millicent not to wake you early the next morning because they knew of your valiant deed the night before and wanted you to make sure that you had a proper rest. So a little bit later in the morning, finally the servants are allowed to enter your rooms and awake you and get you prepared for the day. Now, of course, this is, I believe you only have one more day after this one in Chendal. Now, what you need to do is today what you're going to be doing is visiting the keep, or actually the manor house, and the property that was given to you by Alistar and the king. And then the next day is you were supposed to meet with the ambassador's corps in Chendal, and then you're supposed to leave in the afternoon for Emmeril.
And
Cool.
they were going to have her see the oracle or talk to the oracle and see if she
Right.
could do anything to help.
So, who were you? Were you guys going to go see the oracle, or were you sending someone else to do that?
Figure we would let Alistair handle it since we're going to be leaving anyways. And
I need my sleep.
He needs to step up for his daughter's defense.
That too.
Right, of course.
the fire snake.
Yeah. So, yes, once you're dressed and readied by the servants, you make your way down into the dining room area. And as you pass by through the hallways there on your way to that room, you are passed by guards, armed guards, of course, and a few mastiffs, very large dogs that seem to be patrolling the floors and grounds of the of Manclaw Manor. So you can definitely see already that steps are being taken to ensure Zathia's protection, which makes you feel a little bit better, even though you're realizing the manner of creatures that you fought the night before were absolutely extremely powerful dark entities with evil intent.
You should get some cats.
Should get some cats.
Why
Cats
cat?
scare away the ghosts.
Do they?
Yes.
I would just
I'm pretty
snap.
sure they just claw up the furniture.
All cats are-
The whole reason they're meowing all night long is because they're keeping all of the baddies at bay.
Yeah, they're just clawing the furniture and spraying the walls with urine. It's like, yay, I love it.
That's how they keep out all those
That's-
ghosts.
That's how they keep the ghosts away, is they're pissing all over everything.
No, Ashlyn hasn't.
There's, there, yeah.
Athena, did you have more than one dagger, or no?
Yeah.
You have two.
Hold on, let me count.
The soul dagger.
Oh no, I've only got one soul dagger
Mm.
because all the rest of the shards smashed because of your.
Now,
She has one, but you have one as well.
well, I was wondering if we should give one to Zathia. If we gave her the one with Helenta, Helenta could stay with Zathia and help her. I don't know
Detect
if we'll need
evil?
it. Well, detect evil and also hurt them.
I guess that's true. That's true.
And then, because, I mean, what are we taking Helenta with us for?
The other thing we didn't follow up with was talking
The person behind it all.
We didn't talk to her about. Well, that moment she was like, "This is what I'm designed to do. I'm gonna slay all the undead," and we thought that adding shadow souls to the crystal is a bad thing. So we have to talk to her about that. Did you
Okay.
actually? Did
I
you
don't
actually?
think I ever told you what she said.
Oh. Whoops.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah.
She
The only
seems like she wants to fight.
yeah, the only person that she was actually able to chat with would be Athena.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was actually wielding the crystal dagger in her hand at the time.
Well, then,
Should I ask Kalenta if she would rather come with us or stay with Sathia?
You can.
Well, I was asking Afton if he thought.
oh, yeah. I mean, feel free to ask her if she feels if she feels that she needs to go with us, like something's drawing her to go with us, then that's one thing. Then maybe I'll just give her my empty dagger, which I'm assuming somebody told me also glue while I was taking a nap on the floor.
Well, we deciphered that before. Your dagger was probably glowing with the other creatures that were summoned.
I don't think that word has a past tense, but okay.
Okay. So to just try to clarify the nature of the crystals that you have, Apton, the crystal that you own that you have turned into a weapon was the one that actually held the soul, Zathia's soul in it. When that's the dark crystal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what happened was once her soul was taken from that crystal, that's when it went black. And it cannot be used again to store another soul. Because it still glows when evil is present.
Okay, well that's fine with me then. I mean, if like I said, if Helenta feels that it's her destiny to go along with us, then we'll keep her with us, and I'll give. I guess I'll teach. I can. If Helenta feels it's her destiny to come with us, then I'll give Zathia my dad, and hopefully her dad will help her be trained to use it, and she'll be the next Zathia Cyrus. That's a bad example because my
Yeah.
should come in like a wrecking ball. And if Lenta thinks that it is a good idea for her to stay and help
To convince Sathia not to tell certain people that Lenta's in the blade. Okay, so, hey, Helenta.
You're holding the blade in your hand when you say this, and she immediately responds, "Yes, Athena, how can I help?"
Just out of curiosity, did those shadows stick around in there with you? Or are they gone?
Oh no, there's only room in here for me.
Okay. So, we were wondering, do you feel pulled to continue with us on the journey to whatever we're doing? Or do you feel pulled to stay here and help protect Zathia?
She ponders this for a moment, so she's very quiet. And at first, you're kind of thinking that you've lost connection when she says, Athena, I believe that I am supposed to travel with you. There is going to be a time, I believe, where I will be once again freed from this crystal. And I had a feeling that once when we visited the Oracle, and she kept me for that brief amount of time, she did direct me to make sure that I travel with you, and that maybe I will be freed from this crystal prison.
Nope, she's coming with us.
Okay. Well then, I will go and seek out Alistair after we are finished conversating together.
Okay. So yeah, after you all spend a little bit of time downstairs eating breakfast, finally, probably around the end of your meal, Alistar and Millicent walk into the room. And a little bit behind them is you see Zathia and Jorith. Zathia looks a little bit better from last night's run-in with the shadows, but you can see that she is still a little weakened from her ordeal. Of course, Jorith looks fine, and he is. You can see that where he would normally not. You've never seen him have this, but he has a belt on and he has a dagger at the side. So they have armed him and have asked him to make sure to keep an eye on his sister. So at this point in time, they've kind of become inseparable. Yeah. So Alistar, enters and says, good morning. So I believe it's another busy day for you all. I'm sorry that your itinerary seems to always be filled, either night or day. I have directed some men to head over to the your manor and to make sure that it's at least accessible. I didn't want you to just step in there and find that it was a completely overgrown wreck and that you wouldn't actually be able to find the front door. So by the time you get there, they should have made sure to clear a path for you and or hopefully have some way of egress for you.
Yeah, we will definitely, hopefully, be able to make use of the gift of this keep you have given us.
He says, I'm sure you will. And just as he's finishing, in through the door on the other side where you all came through, Lunara walks in. And you see that she is not dressed in her normal black clothing, but in more sort of formal attire. And it's actually... It looks as though someone had actually taken the time to run a brush through her hair, where normally she looks kind of like she just crawled out of a tree trunk. As Armos knows, that's pretty much where she was living. And she walks over and just sort of stands behind you all and says good morning to you and see how you all are feeling. Outside the window, you hear the batting wings of Moontalon in a tree, watching the windows, keeping an eye particularly from what you gather on Zathia. So,
Alistair, can we speak in private again?
He's of course. You can step into my study. That would be fine.
I will head over to the study.
Okay, so is it just you and him?
If either the other two want to follow or they want to talk with Lunara or...
Yeah, I was gonna go with Lunara and Zathia. Just give them good morning greetings and make sure they're all doing okay.
Okay, that's fine. Athena, what were you planning on doing?
I follow him.
You're
Mind
following.
if I join you?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. Okay, so Athena and Apton, you all adjourn with Alistar to his study. And, he lets you in and you all, he says, please take a seat. And he sits down at his desk across from you. And he says, what's on your mind?
Well, I do not have any children, and I don't want to tell you how to raise or handle children. However, with the incidences of current, I think you should have Zathia trained in some sort of self-defense. I know the Bardic College might be a good idea if she shows any sort of magical aptitude, since she is a fantastic performer as well as uh,
Musician.
So he sort of rocks back in his chair just a little bit, and he says, "It's funny that you should say that, good cleric. I had actually had a conversation with Millicent this morning concerning this exact very same issue. And we have decided that instead of actually sending her to the Bardic College, we're going to actually have tutors come here. They're being vetted even as we speak."
Well, in that case, I would like to present her with her first weapon.
He looks and says, "Really? That is very magnanimous of you, Apton. I'm sure she will be quite pleased. And what is this weapon that you have decided to impart?"
Well, I pull the dagger out that I had made all fancy, which I was initially going to give to her anyways, but I guess it just worked out that I'm giving it to her now. And I'll tell him, this is the dagger that killed her, or the shard that killed her, converted into a dagger. These daggers seem to glow when the shadows come about.
It just wasn't the shadows that it glowed for. Remember,
Yeah,
it also glowed for the other creatures as well. So you're kind of getting an idea that it is evil in general.
Yes.
Never the evil that's after her comes after us.
I feel like it would also be a fantastic warning on top of a very good way of her being able to fight back.
He says that is a very appropriate weapon for a young lady. He says, "Do you want to present it to her right now? I mean, I can call her in."
If you're comfortable with it now, or if you wanted to do something more ceremonious of it, either way, I am.
He thinks about it and he says, "You're right. I think something a little bit more ceremonial would be is definitely in order. I think you are definitely right. That is great. I will set up something for this evening. What do you think?"
Sounds good to me. When you come back from the keep, we will see what we can drum up, and maybe I'll see if I can get some of my brethren at the Temple of Court to maybe put some blessings on it or something of that nature.
He is like, this is wonderful. I'm not going to say anything to her. We'll make this a surprise.
Fantastic.
And so he says, "Was there anything else you needed to speak about before you head off?"
I guess while we're here, is there anything about this keep we should know about? Any sort of hauntings, or anything that might be good to be prepared for?
He does chuckle just a tad bit, and he says, "Well, it is reported that it is haunted, but I am not really too sure exactly what sort of spirits actually linger within its walls."
Alrighty, well, now at least we'll be prepared for all the ghosts and ghoulies.
Yes.
Good thing we still have your dagger to go there then. Okay, light up.
I ain't afraid no ghosts.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. So is that all you needed to know?
Yep.
And I think that about sums up what our day's going to look like.
All right. So, yeah, he rises from his desk and he walks over to the door and, and opens it to, escort you all back into the dining area. Armos, let me go ahead and cover your section of this tale. So you and Lunara are now in the room with Millicent and the children. What did you want to do? How were you going to proceed?
I just want to comfort Zathia and give her some confidence, and Lunara give a heartfelt hug, and see how she's doing as well.
Yes, Zathia is happy that you are definitely taking interest in her health, and especially after the fight the night before. She talks a little bit about some music that she's actually written. She actually has it folded up in one of her satchels, and she brings it out, and you quickly give it a cursory glance, and realize that it's exquisite. It's in a more historical fashion. You look upon it and think, oh my, this is impressive. You don't know music well, but you know enough that as you play the notes back through your head, as you look at each clef and you look at you have just this feeling of, wow, this is, it's just absolutely beautiful. She of course says, I haven't actually got words for it yet. All I have is the tune, and I'm fleshing that out. But no words have come to my mind, and I'm afraid that there may never be words to put to it. So you kind of feel that there is a little bit of, there's a feeling of heaviness on her, that she's not good enough.
I want to, Zathia, you are more than talented enough to conquer this song, and the lyrics that go along with it will come in due time. And once those lyrics pop in your little head, you will know for sure these are the lyrics. You will feel it.
As you say these words, you see a little smile appear on her face, but the smile of Millicent and Lunara really tell the tale of what you've been able to impart. And as you rise back up to your feet, because you were on a knee in front of Zathia, you catch a look from Millicent, and she kind of gives a soundless whisper, and you can read her lips, and it's a thank you. And
I will give her a slight nod and smirk.
Right. So, what's up?
I want to turn back to Zathia and ask her, do you think that I could add in some flute as well and perform this as a duet with you sometime?
She just beams with joy, and you can see the excitement, even though she is frail from the attempt on her life the night before. You can see that life is definitely returning, as she is literally giddy with the thought that you would want to perform a duet with her.
All right, and I will try to get a crowd together for us, and we'll put on a full concert.
All right. So you stand back up, and what did you want to do next? You were saying
how is Lunara feeling? I'll go over to her.
Okay, so she's taken a seat in one of the comfortable chairs near the window, so so she can actually look out and see Moontalon. And as you sit down in the chair across from her, she looks over, and you can see there is make a perception check.
Oh, please, first roll of the night, don't fail me. Okay,
a 13.
Average. All right.
Yeah, kind of an average roll. So what you're able to get from her is a hint of sadness. sort of also mixed with maybe it was more of maybe not a perception check, but maybe what's the other role that we should have probably used?
Maybe
Was
insight.
it motive? Sense motive?
Insight would be the closest thing
Insight,
to that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, insight would have probably been a better one to roll for this. Did you have any
Yeah.
pluses for insight?
No. You check to decide whether you can determine the true intentions of a creature.
Okay. Well, this really wouldn't be determining intentions, because this is really reading feelings. You're actually doing what you're doing is reading body language. And yes, you have this feeling that there is some sadness with an underlying hint of regret. She looks sad, and she looks over at you very quickly. This emotion is detected, and then she returns back to looking out the window.
You said I'm sitting across from her?
Yeah, there's like a small table between you, sort of like it's like a sitting room. So you are there off to the side, and it's like a small table that you would usually have like a tea service would be brought if you were having tea.
Okay. Is it short enough that I could reach out and hold hands with her?
Oh yeah, you could easily do that.
Okay. I'm going to get her attention, say Lunara, and I'm just going to reach across and offer my hand.
Okay. So when you do that, she immediately turns to face you, and she reaches up and takes her glasses off. Usually she wears these glasses, and you were unsure what the purpose was, but you can tell that when she takes them off, her glasses actually make her eyes look smaller. And then you get to see her her eyes are actually quite elven-like and large, and it just makes you it makes you feel like she's looking into you. And it's a little unsettling, but you also have the warmth of her hands as she takes your hands in hers. She that action overwashes that feeling of unease, and she says, "Yes, Armos."
As you take my hand and listen to my words, know that you've done everything you could in your power, and you've done a terrific job up to this point. I need you to know that.
She says, "Have you always just been a bard in disguise?" And
Just
you
a
actually
kind gentleman.
you actually get a smile out of her, and she says, "It just feels like I have failed on several different levels since we've arrived here. I'm glad that you do not judge me for those. And I do promise that I will do everything in my power while I am here to keep an eye on that little girl."
Sometimes life gets the best of us. There are failures as we go through life, and I wasn't always going to be a bard, but that little girl reached out and touched my heart, and I wanted to play music, and I combined it with my magical abilities, and here we are. I'm evolving as I go, and as long as you do that and you continue to grow, I believe you're going to be the most amazing person I've ever met.
You can see that just these words have lifted her from her sadness, and she returns the smile, and she says, "You have made my day. Thank you so much." And she stands, and as she stands, she lifts you with her by your hands, and she kisses you.
Okay, I will stand with her and give her a kiss.
Okay. You hear a shrill owl call from out the window, and you can see a very, very perturbed moon talon staring you down from the windowsill.
There's also a perturbed mouse.
I'll just wave to the owl, I guess. He wants to make his presence
Wave
known.
to the owl. Alrighty.
I don't speak your language, but hi.
So by the time you get done with this one simple kiss and an acknowledgement to the owl, the door opens and Alistar and Apton and Athena walk back into the room. So
Right.
Alistar goes over to Millicent and the children and says, "Well, unfortunately, we can't dally either. We have things we need to do. And actually, we need to drag Miss Lady Lunara along with us today." So you see Lunara kind of shoot a really quick glance over to them, and she says, "Oh, your lordship, I was unaware that I was supposed to accompany you." And he just sort of looks and says, "Yes, you are accompanying us." And she says, "Well, then I need to get I should get my purse, I suppose." And she gives you a little nod, Armos, and she heads back out towards her chambers. Alistar looks at you all and says, "Well, the coach is waiting. Anytime that you're ready to head off to your new digs, I am sure that you will. I'm hoping that you will find them at least somewhat usable for your purposes."
Yeah.
Okay. So they leave the room, leaving you all standing there. Is there anything that you needed to discuss, or did you want to just grab your items, things from your room, and then just head off to the coach?
I guess if we're the only ones in the room, I'll ask both of them, Athena and Apton, what did you guys talk about with General Alistair?
I'll tell them we'll talk about it on the cart ride. I don't want any listening ears to overhear.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, yes, you return to your room. You gather your items, your weapons, and other sundry materials or whatever you may be taking with you, and you head out through the courtyard and to the coach.
Did I keep the sheet music when she showed it?
No, you didn't. She
Okay.
took it with her.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
I'll try to keep the tune in my head then.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy to do so, but you can see that with the additions that she's added, you were able to keep the simple tune. Mm-hmm. To actually hear it played will probably be very impressive.
Cool.
So, okay. So you all are now in the coach, and you are bouncing down the cobblestone way on your way north of Chendal, where your new manor house sits.
Cool. How long does the ride take?
It takes a half hour.
Okay.
So you're not actually that far away, but it's still, by coach, it is an impressive amount of...
Right.
Faster when we get V8 engines.
Yeah. That's not how that works. You can't put a V8 in a horse.
Well, yeah, you might be able to, but it would kill the horse, wouldn't it?
No, I mean,
Probably.
in the future,
No.
it'll be a lot faster.
I've just wanted to maybe write down the song so that I could review it later with, I don't know, parchment. I don't know if scribing is a thing.
Okay, here's what we'll do. Why don't you make a roll a performance check?
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, you were able to keep the tune in your head. to a point where you would actually be able to write it down. And so, yeah, you were able to definitely do that. So you don't have to worry about forgetting the basic tune.
Then I'll fold it up and put it in my pocket.
Put it in your pocket. Very good. All right. So when you finally do get to this place, yes, it is overgrown, and it is, and you can see that the gate, there is actually a front gate. The gate is opened, and you see that there are two men wearing the uniform of the Furiondi military, are standing out front of the gates, and the coachman is stopped by them, and you can hear words being passed between them and the coachman, and they announce your arrival. You, of course, hear the soldiers give an affirmative, and then the cart starts to roll past once again, roll along. And finally, you pull up in front of a sprawling, sort of like an estate. And I am going to show you a top-down of what we're looking at here. I just want to make sure you guys can see it. Hopefully this will help, and I'm going to share it with you very quickly, hopefully. Okay, and there we have it.
Green roof.
Green roof.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see that it has a sort of an entry tower to the main house right here. Let me see if I can show. Yeah, I'm doing it. I think I am. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you guys can't see it. But that's okay. It has an actual separate tower off to the northwest. You all were coming from the south. Yes, very good. Yeah, this is the sort of an entryway, main entrance. Of course, you have the main house here. And then you have gardens out the back where you can actually exit through, and there's like a veranda out there. Yes.
No gargoyles, right?
Right, no gargoyles. You have fountains to the south, but the fountains are at this point in time not working because they are kind of covered in sort of an algae muck. So,
Ew.
yeah, they would probably need to be cleaned. Yes.
Did
So,
they-
Magic.
Could I clean them with fire? I like cleaning
he
with
likes.
fire.
I like cleaning them with fire. Yes.
I'll burn
Cleaning
the
it
algae.
like fire.
Yeah, I'll burn the algae and control flames if you'll let me.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, this is what you actually see when you come in. As you approach the front door, you see that it is shut, but standing off to the side is another soldier. The footmen open up the carriage and help you down from it, and you walk up to the front entrance. The guard immediately comes to the position of attention, and as he does, the door actually opens, and standing in front of you is Stephen, Alistar's adjutant. And he looks at you all and says, good morning, lords and ladies, and welcome. Welcome to your new home.
Hi, Stephen. Thank you.
Yeah, he says. He steps aside and allows you all to walk in. And now I'm going to share with you the bottom floor. Okay. So once you walk in, you're walking in through this entry right here. There is like a large, like a statue, and it looks like just a hand reaching up to the heavens. And it's a very interesting looking statue. It's not really, it's really kind of up to you to decide if it's your style or not. But you can see that there are cobwebs hanging from it. The place is quite dusty, and lighting is a little kind of on the iffy side. As you walk through, you see it goes into like a long dining hall area with serving tables over on this side, and it has long tables with chairs.
I don't know that many people.
You don't know that many people.
It's okay. I got unseen servants. I can make at least
You
3
can-
of them.
Unseen servants, sit, take a load off. Have some
Yeah.
plate to eat.
Okay, so yeah, you were able to see this. He takes you down through some of these, and you find like the kitchen areas, and the like. You also see stairs going up and stairs going down, or actually, I believe these are the stairs going down. I think there's another set of stairs that go up. Yeah, I think these are the ones that go up, and these are the ones that go down and come up, I believe. And he kind of showed you this is a bar area here.
Yeah.
And sort of a gaming area here, so you can play Dungeons and Dragons. And
Yeah.
PC gaming?
yeah. And then over here you have this is kind of like a servant's quarters, like if you had a Carson. This would be his office and bed area. And so Steven says, "Do you have any questions about the bottom floor?"
On
It all looks
the
very nice.
left side,
I'm sorry, what was it?
on the left side, that you said those are kitchens.
Yeah, you have like storage areas. You have kegs of ale here, bags of flour and stuff. But a lot of this is not going to actually be here because, like I said, this place has been abandoned for some time.
Right.
So it's really just open area. That's really about what you see. So like they butcher meat over here and stuff like that. And this is really just more or less storage for the kitchens and things of that nature. Pretty cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nice. All right.
Person.
So Steven says, well, would you like to see the second story?
Yes.
Yes,
All righty. Takes you up to the next story. And we'll talk about that tower here in a little bit. We'll actually go back and I'll cover that again for you because right now we're just dealing kind of with the main house. So up here you have a balcony that overlooks the entryway. This is an open area that you can actually look from the second floor down to the dining area. Remember the room that you had all the tables? You know, those tables that you didn't know that many people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think this is also more storage like sort of things. You might also it's really like unpurposed areas. And over here you have living quarters for you could have like a guest room, or if you had other staff, sort of like maids for different floors, cooks,
Unseen servants.
right, other house guests. And then, of course, you have these staircases that go up and down on either side, which is kind of nice. Any questions about this?
Is there a third floor?
There is.
Okay, so it's going to wonder where we sleep.
Well, now we'll go take a look at that.
Out in the grass.
Okay. So as you see right here, you have... now, I don't know why these chains are hanging from the walls. Maybe this is their sex dungeon. But
Oh,
ignore the sex dungeon.
Fuck no.
Yeah, this is 50 Shades of Greyhawk. Yes, obviously.
It's Armos's room.
Hormosis.
That's Lunara's room.
But yeah, you can see here that they have bedrooms right here. And you have windows that look onto the property. Each one has a desk. And looks like a chamber pot to me, but I don't know. Maybe it could be. Like I said, this right here, I am not really too sure what the dealio is with that. You once again unpurposed rooms. You could.
Maybe they change her to call servants. Maybe they go to bells or something.
That's an awful
Yeah.
lot. I don't know. But those look.
Got 3
Yeah.
floors.
Well, let's.
Sheridan,
Again, I'm just trying to
roll
not make it a
20.
sex dungeon in the hallway.
Yeah, these.
Sheridan roll 20 for me.
Yeah, these. This looks a little. Looks a little
Okay.
suspect, doesn't it?
Also, looks like we got a poker room.
You do actually,
Play some
Freaking
blackjack.
billiards?
and billiards. Yeah. You guys got all the goodies.
Yeah, I like slapping around some balls.
I want to invite all the aristocrats because the house always wins.
Ah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see that. Yeah, you have meeting rooms over here, or more, I guess, more personal rooms for people to meet in, and of course, you do have a little gaming room over there as well. Of course, remember this house has been unoccupied for some time, so there's a thick layer of dust on everything. There are cobwebs everywhere, and it's yeah, it's going to need some real attention.
Okay, it's a really stupid question. How long does your unseen servant last?
About an hour, I think.
I wonder if you could cast it and tell it just to start cleaning,
Yeah,
and it would just start cleaning.
yeah. I'll share it in the thing.
Because it can move up to 5 pounds, so I mean,
Take this duster and
Yeah, because
yeah.
a broom, I don't think a broom weighs 5 pounds. So
I'll
No,
just
but
give him
all
a
that dust
toothbrush.
might. All that
I'll
dust
just-
combined together might.
I'll give him a toothbrush and tell him to mop the floor.
okay,
Yeah, 1 hour.
yeah, okay, good. Alrighty, so yeah, you can actually set your unseen servant to work for you if you would like.
Only just before I go to sleep, because apparently when I cast all my level 2 spells, somebody likes to spawn an encounter. Yeah, but they're level 1 spells, so.
Okay, so I'm going to take you guys back out to the bottom floor so we can go over to the tower. Now, this is the separate tower. Primarily, what you would think that this tower might be used for is someone of maybe a mage or a sorcerer or wizard, some of that caliber, because it's really kind of made for that. But the one thing that you definitely notice immediately in the bottom floor is a gated, like a grate in the floor, and it has a padlock on it.
It's the girl from 7 Days. What's the name of that horror movie? You watched the videotape?
Oh, the last phone call
Oh,
or
The Ring.
whatever?
Yeah,
The ring,
The Ring. Yeah, there you go.
She's just sitting there.
yeah. So
We don't need the door.
Somebody watch this video so damn long.
yeah. So yeah. So you are kind of a little shocked to see that. The lock that is on it is rusty and it looks like it's probably pretty fragile. You have noticed that there is some water intrusion from somewhere in the tower, but you're not sure why. Make an intelligence roll as you all are standing there kind of looking at it.
Well, I was going to ask Steven what it was, if he knew anything.
He looks over at it and he says, well, Sarah, I actually believe that at one point in time, this tower was a tower of punishment.
Okay.
And I'm almost for certain that there may be a dungeon beneath this tower.
All right.
And he says,
There's where all the ghosts and goblins are coming from.
yeah. And he said, and I also wouldn't put it past, there may actually be secret passages that lead from this dungeon up into the main house. We must be very careful.
Interesting.
Mystics and going.
Hey, Mr. Sir Apton, can you get that dagger out and make sure we're not encountering any evil spirits as we go?
Are we going to go in there and start investigating the tunnels now, or are we going to go up to the top of this tower? And
I'm just saying, hold it out just in case as we walk.
guess I will hold the dagger out.
Okay, so
Is it dark in here?
it is, but Stephen has a bullseye lantern or a hooded lantern that he's opened up, and it is right now covering the area in light.
Okay, I was gonna cast light.
You can do that. That works
I will
too.
cast light on the handle of the dagger, and I'll say, "There you go, Optin. Now you can use it as a light source as well."
Okay. So, Apton, as you draw the crystal blade, you see it has a very faint purplish glow.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to look at Armus.
I knew
Did you
it.
choose the light color to be purple?
No, that's not me.
I'm gonna pull out mine to compare.
That's why I wanted to target the handle of it.
Athena, as soon as you draw the blade, Helenta breaks in and says, "There's something nearby. There's something of incredible evil."
Guys, something incredibly evil is nearby. Helenta feels.
You shut your mouth.
What do you mean?
Steven is right next to us.
Oh,
That's too late. Her character did it.
You see a very puzzled look come across his face, and he.
I named my blade after.
I was actually just about to make that same bluff check.
Yeah. So are you going to try to bluff?
I'm
Yeah,
a bluff.
I'm gonna put my hand out in front of him and say, and I'm gonna approach Steven and tell him, what she means is that there's a slight evil here, meaning remnants of spirits, not anything too big to worry about.
Hey, Steven, take my hand.
25 to
Can't
deceive,
see.
Okay.
to deceive Steven about the magnitude of what we're dealing with.
If it doesn't work, Steven, take my hand. I can't see.
He looks a little perturbed and a tad upset, and he says, "But you." He looks at you, Athena, and says, "Why did you say Helenta? Is there something?"
I named my dagger after her.
Because it detects evil and it defends the children.
Okay.
Yes, it's this particular
Just like
blade.
Valenta did
Right.
when she jumped over Zathia's body.
Nope, she jumped over Zora's.
Zorith's body.
Um,
I wasn't there.
okay. So yeah. So you want to also roll a bluff check there, Athena?
Well, it's not
I can't save you.
quite bluffing.
He talked to you. Deception.
Yeah, deception.
Oh, deception. Oh, shit.
Hey,
That's
can you
probably
cast
negative.
Bardic Inspiration as a as a bonus action?
Yeah. I'm gonna cast. Let's see. I need to make sure it's not. There's no somatic components to it.
Earn a level 3 spell right now. Come on.
You inspire others through stirring words or music. So I'm gonna use words. I'm gonna cast that on her.
Okay.
So what does that do for me?
You get to use a 1d6, and you're going to use it.
To add on to it?
Yes.
17.
Good. Okay. He kind of looks at you strangely, and he says, "I understand. You did spend some time with her, and you did understand that she was truly a good person." And
Yeah, see?
yeah, and
I was with her the whole ride. I mean,
so yeah, you see he physically calms down and is a little bit more at ease. But and he says, "Well, do you all want to see the upper floors, or do you want me to get some crowbars in here and we'll start prying this block off?"
Well,
I'll
with
see.
the
Shut
the
up.
evil that we detected, we've got to be on the lookout and we've got to be prepared for anything to come out at us. So
Let's be prepared, but go up before we go down.
yeah, and
Take the path less trouble.
Because down seems to be locked in, at least for now. So let's go up, make sure nothing else is up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are going to go to second level here. Okay, so as you can see up on the second level, as you go up the staircase, you find a small office and a library. Most of the books look to be in pretty bad condition. There is some water damage. Same with the furniture in here as well. So you're thinking that maybe there is a leak in the roof or something like that.
Are there any books that are savable?
No, unfortunately, other than a couple of magical books. They have a little bit more of a way of being able to weather the weather. Yeah. Right. So, you were able to see, you find 2 books. And these are very, very high arcane books. You can read the titles, but you cannot actually read what is in them.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
I was going to get to learn some new magic on our trip.
Right. One is called How to Weave Spells with Music.
Ooh.
Wait, how to what?
Weave spells with music.
Ooh, there you go. Armos.
And-
It's for you.
And the other one is a Tome of Golems.
Gibbs.
Gollum.
Well, since I can't read it, here you go.
Just can't read.
What?
No, it gets all blurry. He said I can read the title, but I can't read anything else because it gets all blurry because I can't read magic.
Right.
There you go.
Okay. So that is what you're able to find in this library.
Yay.
All right, so they each got a cool new book.
And you got to almost ruin stuff for the storyline. Steven.
Ah,
Ouch.
She's learning how role playing's working, all right?
The pain.
forgot that he was the one that was right there. Okay, I just forgot that we were not alone.
Just learn. Just live and learn.
You just had to kill Steven.
Almost had to turn Steven into a revenant. Oh my gosh, no.
An army of revenants. That just
Not
lead them into
kill.
battle and hope they attack the others.
I'm not killing him. I'm just transferring his life force into a revenant.
Exactly.
That's
Okay.
not murder.
So, and finally, I believe that there is one more floor in this tower.
I want to check the crystals again to see if they're glowing more or less.
No, they have actually stopped glowing. They are now,
Okay.
as you've gotten actually higher up in the tower, you have noticed that they have actually stopped that sort of black light glow.
Gotcha. Yep.
But-
So
Mhm.
I'll mention to the others. It seems that we're getting further from the source of evil. So
Yeah.
the dungeon is where we
It's
gotta
in
look
the
out.
basement.
Okay.
I want
We
to know
don't-
what that blue thing is.
It's a hot tub.
So, as you mount the stairs to this room, you realize that there is a light source coming from above that is more. It is far more bright than the lantern or the light that had been cast on Apton's crystal blade hilt.
Handle.
The handle, yes. And so as you finally make it to this room, you see what is an intact summoning circle.
Woo!
Yeah. So I need anyone who has an arcane knowledge, go ahead and roll that. and see if there's any more information that you can obtain from your knowledge. So is that it? And a 14. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys are looking at this thing, and as you're walking around, like I said, when you first walked in, it is so bright and overpowering that you make a perception check as you start to walk around and look at the runes in this.
Investigation or perception?
Let's do a perception.
Not 20.
Perception. Jesus.
Yes.
Nothing about magic, but
Jesus.
I'm looking pretty hard.
It's so shiny.
Okay.
Crit plus the crit fumble.
Okay, so what you see, as almost as you were studying the intricate circles and arcane runes that have been etched into this floor, you sort of miss the figure of the elderly man standing back in this corner. I'm gonna zoom in there real quick and see if I can get you guys a little bit closer. Back in this area right here, you see an elderly gentleman who is just standing. Yeah, actually, Apton and Athena, you were the one who saw him. Armos, though, is too busy reading the runes on
Bullshit.
the floor. What was that? The bullshit.
Bullshit.
So,
Can I elbow him?
I'm sorry?
Am I close enough to Armos to elbow him?
Yes, actually, you all are really... I can go ahead and put you on the board if you would like. Might not be a bad idea.
I'm just gonna elbow him.
Are you just going to elbow him?
Yeah, she's gonna do one d10 because she's got 28 strength and I've got.
No, I'm just gonna nudge you enough to get you to look at where I'm looking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can
As she knocks you back down the staircase.
Right all the way down to the bottom and into the gate to the dungeon, which crumbles and you fall down those.
Yeah, he just crashes through the grate and into the infinite darkness below.
Tomb of Horrors.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, Armos, you feel a slight nudge to your side, and you look up and to see Athena sort of giving you sort of a look, saying, look
And
over there.
she's
Look
nudging
over
him.
there.
I'm gonna ask,
look at it.
Okay.
Who are you, good sir?
What's that thing?
So as soon as you, Apton, are you addressing the person? As soon as you address it, it looked like it was holding something and looking at it, or it was looking at its hands, but you were kind of had a feeling that it was holding something, but it wasn't there. And you see, as you address it, it looks up sharply, like there's a skip in the film. Like he was looking down and then boom, the head was right up immediately. And then the apparition disappears.
But that one's not evil.
I guess
Not
not.
that we know.
Your shit wasn't glowing.
Well, our stuff wasn't glowing.
And there's magic out there where you can keep from being this from.
I'm gonna ask Steven if he saw that.
He looks over at you and says, "Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that was strange."
You
Did you
recognize him?
recognize the person?
No, I have no idea. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure we all got a really good look at him. I know that there's some old paintings downstairs in the main house. Maybe there's somebody there who is kind of attached to this. I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't look familiar to me.
Either it's a spirit of like somebody old that died in here, or somebody's trying to sneak in and read something. but this isn't their house, so they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, I guess I can't really knowledge religion or anything. He's gone.
Make a perception check, all of you.
No.
Okay.
Oh god damn.
Only one less than I did last time.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Okay, so as they are standing there talking with Stephen about what they had seen, Apton, you notice that there are several different multicolored gemstones that are in a circle around the central ring. And as you were watching them, you start to see them float above the ring that they're in, and they start to change locations within the dial. So what you're seeing is concentric rings towards a bright center, and one of those rings has gems in them, and they are starting to float, and as they do so, they start to move in different directions along the same path or along the same circle. They're rearranging themselves for a purpose.
Can I use arcane to see if I can
Sure.
gather what this might be or what's going on?
You can use it.
And really use it.
Really?
Not so really.
Unfortunately, as you look at it, you understand the forces behind it. You're just not understanding the purpose that it is trying to achieve.
Can I use persuasion to change your mind as to what I know?
Now, of course, you could always.
Not money.
Of course, you could always get the attention of Armos, who is another person of arcane knowledge.
Hey, Armos, you recognize what these here stones are doing?
So, Armos, as you tear yourself away and you are now looking at the summoning circle once again, you now see what Apton had seen before. The strange gems are now rearranging themselves in different patterns along the same band.
Same band.
Yes.
Circling.
I'm
doing
gonna
stuff.
notice and say, someone's summoning something.
7.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you too are unable to understand what this is, what the purpose is.
I got a 10.
Untrained, she got a 10.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's still not good
unfortunately,
enough,
you're
but-
not really too sure.
Gotcha.
And you notice that this is happening, it's happening very slowly. So it is not something that it looks like it's going to take some time for its job to be finished. But as
And you said the light's getting, or everything here is lit up bright?
yes.
Non-magical light.
And as the gems are floating in the air along the band, the light is piercing them and shining multicolored lights all over the room.
Maybe I just wonder if somebody's summoning something.
Maybe it's a disco.
Well, our characters don't know that. That's the problem.
They're raising the roof up here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're not really too sure. And Stephen is sort of backing his way back towards the staircase. And he says, I'm going to have to report this to his lordship. This isn't good. I'm
You
not
know
sure.
what's happening?
No, I have no idea. This
Then what are
shit.
you gonna report?
That there is some sort of strange magical entity like in the tower. That's that.
Okay.
Time to Leroy Jenkins this. I'm going to reach out and grab one of the gemstones.
Jesus.
Okay, so you reach out and grab one of the, okay. Okay.
God damn it.
So
Yankee!
Apton reaches out. Are you doing this or not? You
Um,
said you did. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take you at your word. So you reach out and grab a gem, one of the floating gems. And the gem that you,
either blue or green, if possible.
blue or green, not the red or yellow.
And definitely not the orange.
Okay, the orange or the orange. Yes, no, definitely not that.
All right, hold on.
Okay, so
What was orange?
Before we do this, can I just read the definition of an intelligence saving throw? You don't normally decide to make a savings throw. You are forced to make one because your character or a monster is at risk of harm. Is he at risk of harm?
you would have
Not that I'm aware of.
You're not aware of it either because you rolled so low on your perception or on your arcane.
I'm just saying, if I were to reach for an open flame and I'm not flame resistant, like it's going to hurt me.
Well, you
that
know,
should be
flame
enough.
is going to hurt you.
How about
We don't know this is going to hurt us.
How about we do this? I think this is probably a better way of using a wisdom save because it's going to be sort of like your inner person or your gut feeling going, "Oh shit, I'm about ready to touch this thing. What
And I don't know what it is.
what is the
Right.
worst possible thing that can happen if I touch this gem?" So,
Yeah.
what I'm looking for is that you need to beat a 15 or better. Anyone who beats a 15, either if it's Apton, if you meet that 15 Apton, you will kind of catch yourself before you reach out and go, "Oh man, I'm about ready to make a really crucial mistake." If you do not beat it, but one of your other friends beats it, they will reach out and try to keep you from reaching out and touching one of the floating gems.
That's
All right.
tiny.
So wisdom save.
Yeah, so we're going to start with Apton first and making sure that he can, if he needs to make the save, or if he can make it.
He's gonna roll a 1.
No, I don't.
Okay, very good. So, Apton, you are reaching out, and as you're reaching out, you realize that the gems are now starting to pick up speed to a point where you can't tell which ones you're going to grab. You could grab you might actually grab multiples, and if you do, you have this internal little voice that says, this might be the way you meet your maker, and you pull back your hand.
As he reaches out, all the hairs on his arms stand up.
That's a lot of hair.
Or his little his little mouse ears like peek, like prick up like this. And,
Whiskers go crazy.
yeah, his whiskers start doing this. So yeah.
I'm gonna start following Steven on the way out.
Okay, so you all start backing your way back down the stairs until you finally make your way all the way back to the bottom, and now you are standing in front. In the bottom of the tower, in the tower
Nobody's
floor.
seen, like nobody's even been here to know if somebody's been using our magic tower or not.
Right. Well, I mean, we just discovered this. Steven doesn't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, and neither does Apton. So we need to talk with some higher powers here about.
I would have found out what was going on real quick just a minute ago.
Yeah. And you're stupid, so quit doing that.
Okay, I'm going to switch back over to our pictures. So you're now standing in front of that, and like I said, it's probably going to take some activity. And as you once again are downstairs, you notice that the crystal blades are once again glowing that black light hue.
There's something magical's going on upstairs, but it's not necessarily evil. Just doing weird stuff.
Right?
Unless it's summoning evil, in which case.
Yeah, we don't know. So we can either investigate downstairs, which I feel is a very bad idea, or we go consult a mage, a high mage of some sort. and talk to them about what's going on. Maybe bring them here if they have time.
Well, is anyone gonna want to come here if they know that we got something hiding in our basement that needs to be sorted out?
Do we need to have people here? It's
You
just
just said bring a mage back here to
Right.
investigate what's going on upstairs.
but they're a highly capable person. You're like having guests over.
No, I'm
It's
saying,
not-
but is a mage gonna want to come here knowing that we got like really bad stuff in the basement?
We can ask them when we get there.
Since when are we scared of handling our own business?
Since you tried to get your character killed twice. Since you almost died twice, Apton. That's why.
More than twice.
At least twice. That's why.
It's like 3 times on the boat alone.
Yeah. So we don't do that anymore. Okay.
You don't do that.
No, we don't do that.
Okay, so what do you want to do at this point in time? By the time that you've done all of the kind of the walkthrough of the manor and the tower, you now find that yourself a little bit past noon.
Could we send somebody to request the presence of a mage while we go downstairs and handle what's down there?
I like that.
We can.
Sure.
Sure.
Steven.
No.
You don't want Steven to try and help us? Oh,
Steven's
I'm
our
afraid you're
tour
going to
guide.
spoil something.
shoot.
I'll ask Steven, can we send a messenger or a soldier to go ask for a mage about what just happened?
He thinks about it very quickly and he says, "Yeah, I can send somebody, to the college in the city to see if they can send someone to at least tell us what is going on upstairs." He turns and he heads out of the tower, heading towards the house, leaving you 3 to stand there.
I was gonna ask him if he wanted to join us in the basement or not.
I don't think he does.
Well, how quick he ran out, probably not. Alright, so can I... So we're going in the basement, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so here's what I can do. If we deem the basement dangerous and evil, once we get the door open, I can cast invisibility on myself and go forward and see what's down there, see what's up, if you guys want.
Okay. Can I break the lock?
That's
I just want to try and break the lock.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably very capable. It's a rusty lock, so I say give it a
It's called
go.
the lock-picking lawyer. He'll show you how to open it with a piece of bubble.
Well,
Sure you would,
either
is
you
that gonna
can
be
do
poison?
that, Athena, or I can try using my thieves tools.
Well, what check do I need to do for it?
Straight check.
That's just up here. And
I would say strength check, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to make it.
All right.
Strong
Lock
lock.
picking
All
lawyer.
right. I'll give it a go with my thieves tools. I'm assuming lockpick is one of them. What do
This
I
is not
roll?
too badly rusted.
It's probably disable. Is it a disable item or something? Disable
That's what I was
something.
looking for, but I see sleight of hand.
Open lock, maybe. I don't know if that's one of them
Well,
or
I've got
not.
sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand's different than. Is it disable device?
Where?
I don't see that one in 5th edition.
That is strange. I'm not really too sure. Yeah, I'm always thinking back to Pathfinder, so it's like, yeah, disable device, yeah, open locks.
Thieves tools in 5th edition.
Acrobats. I prepared.
No.
I'd say either insight or investigation.
So the tools are small file, lockpicks, and small mirror for metal handle. Proficiency with these tools lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to disarm traps. And disarm is highlighted. I'm going to click on that. What would we use for disarm? And it didn't take me Dungeon Master's Guide. It didn't take me to the right thing. All right, so we'll look up 5th edition disarm.
I would guess it's either an intelligence or a wisdom throw, because intelligence is figuring out how something works, and wisdom is knowing like what your intuition is on how it works. I'd lean more towards an intelligence roll. You're saying you understand how locks work and how to open up a lock.
Plus the proficiency.
Plus proficiency.
Let's take a look.
All right,
It is a good
disarm.
one.
A creature can use an attack roll. Well, that's a different kind of disarm. You can test athletics or acrobatics check. Yeah, that's a different kind.
Yeah, that's a different type of disarm. Yeah, there is definitely another way to do
You have
that.
each tools and are proficient with them. You can attempt to pick the lock and get to add your proficiency bonus to your dex check.
It's a dex check. Okay.
Doesn't make any sense to me, but okay.
It's
Makes
their,
perfect sense.
it's their rules.
Perhaps,
Rules are made
yeah.
to be broken. As Coffee says.
Alrighty. So I want to roll to investigate the lock first.
Okay.
This is taking a detailed look at the lock to make sure it's not trapped or anything.
Ooh. Yeah, that's smart.
Okay, very good. Yeah, you look at the lock very carefully, and you do determine that it does not look as though it has any sort of trap device either on it or inside of the actual keyhole itself.
All right, and then you said dexterity savings throw plus proficiency. So 16 total.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's really about the same thing that you were able to, with Athena, and you are unable to actually open it.
Okay.
This is a difficult lock.
I'm going to cast Firebolt on the lock.
Okay.
Why not? 15 points of fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, you were able to heat the lock up at a pretty rapid rate, but it doesn't like pop it open or anything like that.
Can I try opening it now?
Well, yeah, while it's hot, Athena, give it a hit.
Okay.
Ooh, hit. Wait. Let me look at my stuff. I've got a maul. Would that be able to hit?
What were you using before?
It's pulling on it.
Oh, you were just pulling on it.
It
Okay.
was yanking the
She has a
chain.
hammer. So
All right, so I have a hammer. I'm gonna use my hammer. Ready?
Okay.
Wait, do I have to do the
to hit.
button to see if it hits first?
No, no.
Or just
You,
the
you should
damage?
just be able to do damage. You're standing right over it. It's not like it's running away from you.
Oh, she creates fumble. She could herself.
Mother of pearls! Look at that.
You did. Well, that's damage you got to do to hit.
No. What?
No. She doesn't have to roll to hit. She just has to roll damage.
Right.
Interesting.
That she did 14 damage to it.
Okay. It looks as though it may be cracking on one side, but it is not.
Is it still hot?
It is still hot.
I'm gonna dump a flask of water on.
Okay. So you do so. There is a rapid rise of steam that comes from the lock. And make a perception check.
Hey.
Okay. Very, very good. All right. So yes, as you all are standing here staring at this lock and looking at it, of course, like you can see in the picture that it's a grate that is attached to. You, all three of you, see the flash of red eyes, multiple red eyes looking up through the grate at you.
All right, fuck that. Let's go.
How's that glow look now?
We roll initiative, or
Well, they're still on the other side of the gate.
Still locked in there.
I can still shoot past that gate with spells.
Yeah.
If your eyes are red, you
Yeah.
must be dead.
Well, the chances are that these are spirits that will disappear if you try to interact with them.
As you're sitting here looking at, go ahead and make an investigation check.
God damn. Pretty good.
Nice.
Wait, where's the investigation?
Nature under insight.
I know. I just kind of.
Cool. So, Armos, as you are sitting, as you're standing there looking into the deep red eyes of these creatures, you notice that when you used your, was it firebolt,
Yep.
that it blew away some of the rust and dust off of the grate, and you can now see that there are runes. Runes of protection are etched into the metal of the grating. So it looks as though that whatever is in here is being barred from exiting only because of this gate.
Oh.
So tell us that.
All right. So, guys, these here, they look like protection runes. So, whatever's on the other side of the gate may or may not be waiting to get out. So, we're concerned about getting in, but that there might be more to this than just simply going in to check it out.
Well,
You guys saw the eyes, right? So
yes, but if we are under the impression that there might be ways into the house with underneath here, it means they might have other ways of getting in. I guess if we did, they would go.
maybe I would rather go back in the house and check to see if there is an exit up into the keep. But if we open this door, it's not going to be good. That's for sure.
We live with those things under our house.
Oh,
That these runes of protection say that we can.
Okay.
Can we like cast light onto the grate so we can see what they are, since we're only seeing eyes?
Sure.
Or
Is there?
cast it on like a pebble and light it?
Yeah, I was going to ask Brian. Is there a pebble nearby?
Yeah, there's actually crumbling masonry that you can easily reach out and grab.
Now we gotta
Alright.
get a stone place out here too. God, the whole place is falling apart.
I'm gonna look for one that's small enough to fit through the grate.
Okay.
And cast light on it and throw it in the grate.
Okay, as soon as you cast light on it and put it through the grate, you see that these creatures run from the light, making this high-pitched kind of wail, and it's a high-pitched wail that you recognize immediately as being from the same creatures that you fought the night before, the shadow creatures.
I got shit to do with these guys. Come on, let's do it. Come on.
I am prepared to do this, so I'm gonna keep going at the lock. The runes of protection, are they just a general protection, or
So now we're going down there?
I can kill these creatures?
You hope.
I'm now experienced in killing these creatures.
Well, do it.
So I'm gonna cast Firebolt
I
again.
killed two of them too, but
Okay, well at this point,
Alright.
at this point in
I'm
time,
gonna palm Halenta's blade because I know I'm gonna need her if we're going after those guys.
right. Okay, so you start continuing to work on the lock, and the more and more you work on the lock, the more and more you realize as you are doing so, the runes on the gate start to glow a silvery light.
There's magic probably keeping that lock
I'm
closed.
gonna do an arcade. See if I recognize any of the rooms.
Sure, go right ahead.
See if it's about to blow up in my face or something.
16.
Okay, 16 and 13. So, yeah. Okay, so actually, Armos, as you are sitting there tinkering with this lock and you start to see these silvery runes start to appear, and Apton, you also notice these as well. They are not arcane in nature, they are more divine in nature. That there
So
is.
Jesus is telling us to stay out.
Now we can't go in.
I
Well,
stand
there-
at the door and knock. Jesus said, "Stay the fuck out."
Well, yeah. So if it's religious and, our last set of attacks, did they do anything besides make it shiny and new again?
Make what shiny and new? I'm sorry.
The lock.
He's wondering if we actually damaged it or if we just made it
Yeah,
shiny.
you actually did damage the lock. You have actually weakened the locking mechanism on this lock.
Can I try knowledge religion, see if I recognize any of the runes from a specific
Sure.
religion?
Yep, please do.
Mine's pretty untrained, but we'll see what he gets.
So for 14.
Okay. So yeah, Claire, Apton, you have seen these before. You've seen these usually. You've seen them in books while in your studies, and mostly these are runes of imprisonment. They are imprisoning. They could be imprisoning any sort of darkness, anywhere from just simple malevolent ghosts, all the way up to powerful undead creatures like vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got vampires done.
So what are we dealing with here, Captain?
Some bad shit.
Good or bad idea to go in?
Well, I'd like to keep going, but I have a feeling that this is a bad idea.
Now you're getting that feeling?
Well,
You know,
I
Boyle?
think that, like, after a few hits, that door didn't want to open. Something doesn't want us down there.
right, but I feel we're equipped for it.
Not if there's like 50 of them.
we
all
think
right.
we are.
I'm gonna cast.
I mean, we were struggling with 5.
I'm gonna cast Firebolt, but I want to target an arbitrary point on the ground.
Wait, beyond the gate or inside the place we're at?
Yeah, sure. Beyond the gate, on the wall, on just the structure, something I can think of that will take the fire damage.
It's the new edition of I
Damn.
fire a magic missile into the darkness.
Basically.
Okay, so yeah, you cast this spell, and are you just casting it at one of the walls or at the floor itself?
Would I be able to get it through the grate?
Yeah, I mean, you could actually cast it through the grate if you would like.
Stick your
It's
finger through it.
120 feet. It goes, and if there's stairs or something, I want to shoot it towards that light that I cast.
Okay. Yeah. So what you see once you do that, it hits one of the walls, and you can see that it is another staircase below, but it ricochets off one of the walls and out of your sight, and all the while you can hear the screams of those creatures, and
Okay.
yeah.
I can just sit here and torment them for the rest of their lives.
So
I
this
did mine.
this is the new spell that I got from leveling up, or feat. Flames of Phlegothos.
Yep.
My character catches on fire
Okay.
and shines a bright light for 30 feet and dim light for 30 additional feet.
Okay.
I'm going to stand there with my arms up while I'm on fire and say, this is why I think we can handle them now.
Oh.
You could have just told us about that. You don't have to catch yourself on fire to do it.
You wouldn't believe me. So, are we ready to go in here or not?
I mean, I'm ready to roll new characters.
Yeah. So at this point, Armos is ready, vengeful even, ready to kill anything down in there. So I'm gonna cast Firebolt again on the lock.
Okay, go ahead and roll the damage.
And
Because so far you guys have done like over 30 points of damage to it. Okay, so now we're at like 40 some points of damage. So, yeah, now you see that there is definitely physical cracking on the lock, and the runes on the grate are glowing. Like a violent silver. It looks as though they are actually moving.
Is he gonna stay on fire while we open the door?
No, the fire only lasted about 6 seconds.
Well, what good is that gonna do? What if we open the door and they all fly out?
I can keep it going. With concentration, I can keep it going. I guess I'll just keep hitting it.
Can I hit it?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so as Athena hits it, the lock cracks, and as it does, the runes on the grate explode. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you how much damage you're going to be each taking. Yeah, because you're all standing over it. I don't.
Technically, I meant to be back behind both of them to be able to let her swing.
Or as often as I'm sitting in the carriage.
Well, I'm just standing back watching. Like,
Okay. So Apton, I'm going to let you roll a reflex save.
do 100 for damage. Reflex,
Yeah.
dexterity.
You know me. I loves the pain. I loves to bring it.
Can I at least get it at disadvantage?
Okay, Apton, great. So you're only going to take half damage.
Half.
Is
Of
that
100.
Isn't that kind of me?
Yeah.
Once again, I'm a kind of benevolent? Malevolent? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so
I
let's...
let you guys beat on this lock, telling you this rooms were glowing brighter, and you should probably stop. But you didn't.
You said you were ready to go
That
inside.
was him.
Okay,
Well, you didn't say it was going to blow up and do damage, so.
okay. So, Apton, this one's for you. Okay? You take 13 points of damage.
Reach out and touch fate.
Yeah. Armos, this one is for you.
Oh, fun. 22. Is it fire damage?
No, it is radiant. Radiant damage. And Athena, here is yours. Good for Athena.
You.
And you all are blown prone.
Nice.
And as you do so, the grate is open. Actually, it's blown open. And you now hear voices below, and you can and you understand what they are saying. And they're saying, "We're free! We're free!" And
This is a bad idea.
you hear like the sound of like 1,000 birds just beating their wings, and you just have this overwhelming feeling of dread just wash over you.
So we're gonna fight him? Do something to stop him from getting away, Armos.
Well, they haven't come out.
Yeah.
Yet, so.
I'm also knocked on my ass at 6 health, but sure.
Yeah, he's actually in pretty bad condition.
Oh yeah, you guys took about it.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know how much.
Well, so what's the turn order? You want to establish that?
Brian's like, I wasn't ready for y'all to like wake up a billion demons, but give me 1 second. I got this.
Yeah, let's party. Okay, so let me go back here to the first floor, and we'll get this show on the road. Unfortunately, though, it's already 8:15. There's no way we're going to be able to do this one tonight, which is
probably encounter it later.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to know if I had time to cure wounds.
I'm in the wrong place, aren't I? No, I think I'm in the right place. I need to go there myself. Okay, so yeah, you guys are. What I'll do is for the next time when we actually get to this encounter, this will all be set up. It will be enlarged, and your tokens will be right there, ready to receive the just desserts that you so richly deserve. Oh my gosh, this is great. All right, so
great.
that's great. So yeah, so so actually, this is probably not a bad place to stop for the evening because because if we got into it, it would run. You know how our encounters go. Usually, they're 2-hour affairs.
Yeah.
Well,
like that creature that called out, was it a physical creature? Did it sound like spiritual?
It sounded like some sort of malevolent spirit.
Gotcha.
Now, do you think we will have time to stand up before this encounter starts, or?
Well, what we're going to do is this. Once we actually get to the encounter, I'm going to have everybody roll initiative. I'm going to do a group initiative first, where you guys will roll initiative as a group. Just one person will roll, and then I'm going to roll for the horde underground. Whoever beats, it's a competition. If you guys get a higher initiative, then you guys will be able to actually get to your feet. If you do not, then what you're going to see is these creatures literally pouring out of this hole in the floor and looking for, to thank you all for letting them out.
Or we need to know who the hell was living in this house and capturing all of those things and putting them in there.
Well, I just thought of shadow creatures, but it looks like there's more than that.
Yeah.
Well, I've got my way out.
The coward's way out.
The coward's way.
I have a way of getting out if I have to. I got some level 3 spells.
Yeah.
Come on my ass.
So I was kind of thinking. I know that Shane had mentioned last time that maybe in the future we could have just like a general, sort of like a session 0 where we just sit down and talk about the stories, how the characters are meshing, how things are coming together. And I was thinking that would be a really nice to do that on our 20th, if that's possible, or the one before Ricky leaves.
If we make it that long, we might die next time.
Well, I have great faith that you'll be able to persevere.
Yeah.
Sounds like somebody who's ordained to perform weddings.
It's a checkpoint, so I have to come up through it.
Yeah, it is a choke point. That is true.
It'll be fun.
Total fun.
Choke me harder down.
So so let's see if we can plan something like that, and we can actually do that. And I think that would be kind of neat. That would be kind of a nice little way. Maybe I could come up with a nice storyline for Armos, so that we're not actually just having him murdered in the street and his body, disposed of in an unmarked grave covered in lime.
Well, Hugo is just like stay at the keep and clean up while
that is true too.
Apple and I take off.
Yeah.
And then that way, when he gets back, he can rejoin us or something. We don't have to.
Yeah, I could stick in Chendel for a little while.
That is true. You could definitely do that, and that would probably be pretty handy.
Like, you can
Come back as a level 20. Yeah. If we survive this encounter, we should level up. God damn it. You said horde, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was thinking like 10 ghosts, because I can take on the ghosts.
Yeah, it's like you said, you're not afraid of no ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah, I got my.
But these are ghosts. These are
What?
demons.
Yeah, I'm afraid of all the other shit that's down there.
Well,
That's pretty funny.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, it will be fun. You guys are going to have a good time. Like I said, it's going to be this week is a little rough for me because I've got like everything is packed in this week. But I will definitely make sure to take time to have this all ready for you. So as soon as we get back into play on Sunday night, we're rolling initiative. As soon as we, that's it. We're going right to. You're going to war. That's what you're doing. So, just be ready.
Right. Well,
All right.
I'm figuring out what I'm going to do right now.
You guys have a whole week to figure out what you want to do.
All I can do is swing my sword and dagger.
All right.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah,
That's great.
because poor old Armos is already he's taken a pretty major hit.
I'm hoping that we can be the first to stand up.
Well, we'll see. I'm kind of hoping that that's the case too. I wouldn't want to see you guys do a TPK right here on our session 18.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't know that the freaking things were explosive. Captain.
you also didn't not know. Hey.
Exactly.
You're the one who was giving me shit about trying to touch some stones. I mean, this one was literally glowing, going.
Yeah, but it could just be like glowing to prevent damage. Doesn't mean it was glowing explosive energy.
Right. Yeah. It's
You touch me.
It's almost reminiscent of the glowing orange gem in the Tomb of Horrors.
Yeah, or the blue portal you told me about.
Oh,
Yeah, you go through the blue portal and you just see all your favorite people. All, your deities there.
yeah, your deities,
playing.
all of your ancestors that have passed before you. You're walking in fields of wheat, and the sun is shining on your face, and it's
Sounds peaceful.
It's yeah. You're sitting there like going, dude, this is the place. We got to go through this, and I'm like, oh god.
Part of that is you had taken him in the other room to discuss it. So he just comes back and goes, "Oh yeah, guys, let's go through. It's safe." And we're like, "Walk through." Okay, you all die, and we're just like, "Hold on a fucking minute. This spell was supposed to say if it's a good decision or a bad decision. Now, unless he was suicidal, it's not necessarily a good decision to go killing you and your group."
Yeah, it was like True Insight or something.
Yeah, it was like you were pretty much. It was like I took that spell and I gave it steroids and I gave it a line of cocaine to do, and
And then put it on that was like my 4th session or something.
yeah, what I did was I just took a turntable and put a record on it, probably the what is it, a dead vinyl, and I just put a line of coke and just put your head down like a needle and turn that bitch on.
It was like, oh, you can completely envision it. It's a great decision.
This is exactly what you want.
Yeah.
That would have ended poorly. So yeah, I'm kind of glad we walked it back. I didn't want to wipe out the entire party immediately.
Yeah.
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 The other question is why did me and her take different damage here in this particular
I'm
thing?
stronger than you.
It's also deciding how close you were to it. What were the odds that some shards hit you more than the other?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And you caught the blast because you were literally down there like messing around with it and having just a good old time.
Trying to pick the lock, reading the runes as they were blowing up.
It's like,
Yeah.
wow, this one says.
Hold on.
It's like he's down there looking and says, "Hey, this one says something about Denton." Boom! It's like
This one says point
towards the enemy.
It's a claymore went off.
It was like a damn. It was a divine claymore went off in your face.
Point
All right.
towards Duke.
Oh, but I was like, let's go get the mage. It seems safe. There's a rune of protection. And then it was like, oh, but there's shadow creatures down there. And I'm like, nope, vengeance.
I really thought it was a good idea, but like these two were all for it, so I'm like, oh, okay, so you guys think we can do it?
That's great.
It's fun. This
You have
is
not done it yet.
a great time.
Well, yeah, we avoided that spider thing.
Oh, yeah.
So one smart decision.
Me and him.
That's true. You did avoid that.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, let's go save that person. And I'm like, did you see the venom or the web in the thing? No. Mm-mm.
I didn't realize I was hanging out with a coward.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Dead men tell no tales.
Takes runes to the face.
Okay. So, all right, guys. Well, this sounds great. Yeah. So we'll pick this up on Sunday. Again, I would like to thank people who visited us in chat. If you, hopefully, you'll get a chance to catch us next week when all hell breaks loose in the tower at the Manor House.
Literally.
Literally. And of course, we like to again give thanks to Anna B. Meyer for her wonderful maps. I'd like to thank my players for once again showing up and putting through or putting up with my my want to literally destroy them and trap their souls eternally in either shards or some sort of cavernous ruin. Yeah, you know, it's what I do. I do it for you. Also, want to mention if you get a chance to come drop by our Discord, we definitely have one of those. You can look us up. We have different areas within the Discord, and also we have a subreddit that you can get to. I'm going to go ahead and let's get us back over to that. Yeah, as you can see over here on the side, we have our Facebook page, we have our Reddit, and you can also email me directly if you have a question. But if you happen to get on our Reddit, that would be really nice because we are always looking, or I'm always looking for neat ideas for magic items for our team. So if you have a cool idea for a magical item that you would like to see on the show, drop us a note in our Reddit, or you can drop me an email, and I'm going to take a look at it, and I'm going to see if it's something that is if it's usable. We will definitely use it, and I will also mention you in the stream. So that's kind of a cool thing. You get some internet notoriety, and we get to share your creative vision for magical items. That'd be fun. All right, folks. Well, thanks again. And I will see you all next Sunday.
This episode is sponsored by Flex Tape. We need some. Fix this gate.
Flex tape. I don't know if that's going to be helpful or not.
Look, man, they cut a boat in half and put it back together and went in it. I mean, that's got to be some sort of divine intervention.
That's got to be something.
Need divine flex tape.
Divine. Is it the silver? It's like that silver duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll help. All right. You guys have a good night.
Have a good one.